Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video tutorial is about a new sensor. It's a light sensor ISL 29003. To gain more knowledge about this sensor, let's have a look over the website, that is controleverything.com, and here search on the sensor. Now let's have a look over its sensor. That's ISL 29003 light sensor with programmable gain 0 to 64K lux. Now as you can see, these are some of its features. Also you can purchase the sensor from here. You can add to cart here. For this video tutorial I am gonna start working on the interfacing of the sensor ISL 29003 light sensor with a Raspberry Pi and Java code. To get the Java code, go to resource tab and here comes the Java code sample. Now you can have the Java code sample as zip file from here, from this very site. Now you can have the code from github.com also, and the repository there is control everything community. Now let's have a look over the hardware connections we follow to pursue the working and interfacing of this sensor. In the hardware connections section, first of all the requirement is of our light sensor ISL 29003. Now the second part is a Raspberry Pi, as you can see on my screen, and these are the GPIO pins of the Pi. This here is an I2C shield. It's available on the website controleverything.com, and the reason we are using it to make connections with other I2C devices, and the connection should be a lot easier. Now gently place the I2C shield over the GPIO pins of the Raspberry Pi and make a connection. Now what we require to make a connection among the sensor and the shield is a connecting cable. Gently insert it over here, and while making this connection, the brown wire of the cable should be connected to the ground terminal of the sensor, and similarly we have to follow this suit. Now what we require is a micro USB cable so that we can power up our Raspberry Pi, and gently insert it over the jack, power jack. Finally we need to internet connection for the sensor and for the Raspberry Pi, and there are two ways. First of all, this is an Ethernet cable or a LAN cable, as you can see, and gently insert it over the Ethernet jack. Next, if we don't have this one, we can also use for plan B, that's a wireless nano USB adapter, which you can also use for the internet connection. So we are done with the hardware connections part. Now what we require is a code so that we can interface it with the Raspberry Pi. Now for the interfacing of the Java code, what we require is to log in to github.com, and here we have to search for the repository, that is control everything community. Now log in here, and here search for the sensor, that is ISL 29003, and here is our sensor, and this is the Java code. Now let's have a look over the instructions we need to follow to pursue this code. It says that we have to download and install Pi4j library on the Raspberry Pi, and this link pi4j.com is the link which will help us to install the Pi4j library on the Raspberry Pi. Please have a look over this, note it down all the relevant information and install it. Now this is the command to compile, and this is to run the code for the Java. Now get back to the Java code. As you see, it's a .java extension file. Now we have imported some of the libraries from Pi4j, as you can see, and created a class named ISL 29003. And then we have created the address of the sensor, that is bus.getDevice, it's 0x44. Now in the writing part, we have selected command register having address 0x00, and we have sent the command for normal operation 16-bit resolution that goes to 0x80. The right command is here. Now we have to select control register having address 0x01, and we are sending the command to gain for 64K lux, and it's 0x06. After that, we are reading 2 bytes of the data from the address 0x04, as you can see on my screen, and it's the luminous data. And after pulling the data, we are converting the data into the relevant information according to the formulas provided in the datasheet for ISL 29003. At the very end of our code, we have the output data to be displayed on the screen, which is ambient light luminance, and the unit is lux. As you can see, it's raw value and it's a generalized code what we see. Now what we require is to show the practicality, the work of this code along with the sensor and the Arduino. Let's have a look over that. Well, this is very interesting, which is to show the practicality of this Java code. So the first step is to copy this entire Java code, as you can see on my screen, and open up the terminal for the Raspberry Pi. Here create a new file, ISL 29003.java extension, as you can see on my screen, and here we go. Paste the entire code here and save it. and this is the command for the compilation, as you can see, and the code is being compiled. The compilation process is done. Now this is the command to run the code, as you can see on my screen, and we have the values for the ambient light luminance, and the unit is lux. Now it's almost constant, but when I place some object over it, you can see there is a change, or rather decrease, in the light luminance. But instead of that, if I bring a light source near it and run the command, you can see the increase in the ambient light luminance. And here we go. We have the different values of our ambient light luminance. So this is how the sensor responds to the Java code along with the Raspberry Pi. Now what we require is to show the applications and the features and the benefits of the sensor ISL 29003. The ISL 29003 is an integrated light sensor with a 16-bit integrating type ADC, I2C user selectable programmable lux range select for optimized counts per lux, and I2C multifunctional control and monitoring capabilities. The internal ADC provides 16-bit resolution while rejecting 50 Hz and 60 Hz flicker caused by artificial light source. It's applicable in a lot of applications such as ambient light sensing, backlight control, temperature control systems, camera light meters, lighting controls, and a lot many. Now you can purchase the sensor from the website controleverything.com, and you can have the code from the resource tab. After clicking on the resource, you can download the code as a zip file. You can also have the code from github.com, and the repository there is Control Everything Community. In the end, I would just like to make it clear that any part, if you have any issues, you can have your queries on controleverything.com, and you can post your comments on community page. For articles and blogs, you can have a look over instructables.com for us, and to subscribe more video tutorials like this, you can go to our YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.